Imagine for a moment that you're in your office, and as you're sitting there, there's a video camera up in the corner, and every step you take, every move you make, and everything you say is being recorded. Now, besides sounding like a song from the band The Police, that actually is a pretty fair estimation and description of what it's like to be a Major League Baseball umpire. Umpires are some of the most scrutinized professionals in sports because of technology, television, and now AI. And now, even when the most important plays come, and it's really close, we'll throw it to instant replay and break it down into slow motion, frame by frame by frame, to the point where even the naked eye can't tell the difference. And yet we'll still grade and evaluate. I met Tim when he was 18 years into what could fairly be described as an undistinguished career as a Major League Baseball umpire. Now, he made it to the major leagues, so that's a major accomplishment. But when you get there, the objective isn't just to skate by. You generally want to be named to postseason assignments, like the playoffs, maybe even a World Series, or in Tim's case, the All-Star game. That was his favorite because of all the pageantry, and it's the most fun time of the entire year. But that's not where he was, and he'd never been named to any of those. In fact, hadn't even sniffed those in 18 years. And when I met him, he was in a very dark place, very upset, angry, disillusioned, and was about 2 steps away from being demoted. And if that happened, he would effectively lose his job and his full pension. So we had to act fast. So what did we do? We went to work. The first thing we did was set goals. His goal, keep his job. My goal for him was if I could get him to roughly the middle of the pack of the Major League Baseball umpire rankings, and there were about 90 full-time umpires. So if I figured if I get him in the 40 to 50 range, that'd get him out of the pressure and out of the view of the league and allow him to just easily execute his job and move into retirement whenever he chose to. So we put together a 3-step program. The first step was he needed to reconnect with his why, his purpose for becoming an umpire to begin with. And he covered that all up with resentment and was blaming everybody for his position other than himself. Once we were able to reconnect him with his why, which is really, he just loved baseball. He loved everything about it. All the scents, all the smells, all the sounds, the travel, the camaraderie, the challenge, all that, he loved it. And once we were able to get him to reconnect with that, he started to have fun again. The second part that we needed to connect with was we needed to reconstruct his focus. Because when I met him, his focus was everywhere but what was happening on the field. His focus was completely external and in the areas that he could not control. So we had to bring it back to what he could control, which is what he would do when he steps on the field in between the lines. Everything else didn't matter. And the third part was once he got there, focusing between the lines, he had to keep his mind in the present instead of letting it wander to the future. And as an umpire, if you think about it, if you're trying to predict what's going to happen, you're going to narrow your focus and miss important cues. And that's what he was doing. And he was making mistakes that rookie umpires don't even make. So that led to him resulting in the element of taking his performance to the present and being able to then refocus and take it into the level of performance where he was now progressing up the scale. So what does that mean for all of us? That means that we all need to take a step back. And it really means that when the pressure, stress, and fear take over, we need to reconnect with our why. bring our focus back to what we can control, and keep our mind in the present, which will give us the best opportunity to perform the best that we can in whatever endeavor we're in. So what happened to Tim? I'm happy to say that he was able to save his career. We spent 6 years working together, talking about every week or 2 weeks during the season. As far as my goal for him, getting to the middle of the pack, yeah, that never happened. But that's okay, because it's really not about results anyway. And it's a funny thing about results. They tend to happen when you take the focus off of them. So while he didn't end up in the middle of the pack, he did end up in the top 10. And in the last full year of his umpiring, was acknowledged and recognized as one of the best of the best, and was named to umpire in, wait for it, the All-Star game.